welcome to, as you might have guessed, an unboxing video. This is the post-holiday / birthday haul. And as you can see, I have a few boxes. Now, some of the books aren't in boxes because I was impatient and some of them they didn't come in boxes. But I will explain why. And then some of them I would, I think the butterfly one is going to have an unboxing video all of its own because that is one of the subscription boxes. I swear my hair gets everywhere. I could never commit murder. Jesus. Right, so I'm going to try and move this pile over there hopefully without it falling over. So the first book of the pile is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. And I can hear you right now, it's not my usual thing. My best friend gifted this to me and it's just beautiful. It's really pretty for autumn. Look at that foiling, it's just so lovely. And it has sprayed edges. Who doesn't like a good sprayed edge? I mean, look at this thing. It is perfect for the autumn season because everything is pumpkin spice and I love pumpkin spice. The pumpkin spice latte from Costa. Mwah. But yeah, I'm not even sure what this one's about. Let's see. When Jeannie's aunt gives her the beloved pumpkin spice cafe in the small town of Dream Harbour, Jeannie jumps at the chance for a fresh start away from her very dull desk job. Logan is a local farmer who avoids Dream Harbour's gossip at all costs. But Jeannie's arrival disrupts Logan's routine and he wants nothing to do with the irritatingly upbeat new girl, except that he finds himself inexplicably drawn to her. Will Jeannie's happy-go-lucky attitude win over the grumpy but gorgeous Logan, or has this city girl found the one person in town who won't fall for her charm, or her pumpkin spice lattes? It's like a written Hallmark novel. But it is, ooh, it's so pretty. But yeah, it is so, look at that foiling. Isn't that lovely? It's just fucking gorgeous. And it's all the way around. And has inside artwork, which of course we love. And this. So yeah, it's pumpkin spice, it's got autumn, it's got a bit of Christmas in there because that storefront's covered in Christmas tinsel. So yeah, it isn't my usual go-to thing, but I think I'm going to enjoy it. It looks like cozy romance, and to be honest, I could do with some cozy romance, and it's nice to open up the crypt and step out of your box every once in a while. So I will be stepping out of my crypt to get some pumpkin spice. Next up is The Thorns Remain by J.J.A. Harwood. This was a birthday present. I have already started reading it, but I really, really like this book. It's not my usual thing because of the date of where it's set. So it's set during the First World War. I think it's in 1919. Yeah, in 1919, and it's got fae in it. It's got disappearances. It's got dancing in the woods, it's got prices to pay, etc. So yeah, I didn't take this one on holiday, I started it just before, but there will be a video coming on it, because I am enjoying reading it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing this one. And I really, really like the cover. I love the cover, not just like because it's got foiling on it, but I like the dark sort of leaves. It gives me like deep forest vibes, which is good because that's where some of this is set. The greens really pop, the white really pops, the foiling is just gorgeous. I love it. It's great. So next up is one I treated myself to, which is quite a few of these. And I've been hearing about this nearly all year, really ever since it came out. It was all over TikTok, it was all over social media, and that being The Crimson Moth. I think it had a different title in the US, being The Heartless Hunter, with a big like moth on the front. But yeah, I can't wait to read this. So, on the night Rune's life changed forever, blood ran in the streets. Now, in the aftermath of a devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Rune must hide what she is. Spending her days pretending to be nothing more than a vapid young socialite, Rune spends her nights as the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. When a rescue goes wrong, Rune decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent by courting the handsome Gideon Sharp. Except Gideon is a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter loyal to the revolution, and falling for him would be deadly. Now this is the first in a duology. I don't think the second one is out yet because I'm assuming that would have been all over social media as well. But yeah, there was some really nice special editions of this, but I didn't think it was something that I might be into, so I didn't bother at the time. But it's sort of been at the back of my mind since I've been seeing it. The marketing got hold of me and I was like, yes, I'll have that one, yeah. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into this. And adding it to my ever-growing TBR. And I forgot to read the blurb for this one, so we'll do it now. In a highland village forgotten by the world, the young people who remain after war and flu will soon head south to make something of themselves. Moira Jean and her friends venture to the forest for a last night of laughter before parting ways. Moira Jean is being left behind. She too planned to leave once, but her lover died in France, and with him, her future. The friends light a fire and dance, but with every twirl about the flames, strange new dances thread between them, music streaming from the trees. The Fae have joined them. Suddenly Moira Jean finds herself all alone, her friends spirited away. For the Fae, led by the darkly handsome Lord of the Fae, feel left behind and forgotten too. They are out to make themselves known once more. Moira Jean must enter into a bargain with the Lord to save her friends, and fast. For the longer they spend with the Fae, the less like themselves they will be upon their return. If Moira Jean cannot save her friends before Beltane, they will be lost forever. As I said, I won't be doing the unboxing of this in this video. It will have a video all of its own, so watch out for that one. Yeah, next up is an Amazon parcel. I'm not quite sure what it is because I can't quite remember what I've ordered. So this is Medea by Rosie Hewlett. Again, I got targeted with the marketing for this one because it is a Greek mythology retelling, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you will know that I love a good Greek mythology retelling. And I'm not sure whether it's going to come out before this one or just after. There's a review of Ithaca by Claire North coming soon, so keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, look at this. Just beautiful. It isn't the special edition, it is just a regular edition, but that does not take away from how awesome this cover art is. And it even continues on the back. So the blurb for this goes, Medea possesses a mysterious and powerful gift. At the hands of her tyrant father, this gift is exploited and used to defend the enchanted golden fleece that protects their land. Oh, it's Jason and the Argonauts! Yay! When the dashing leader of the Argonauts, Jason, arrives to fight for the fleece, Medea sees her chance to escape. She offers to help Jason defeat her father if he will ensure her freedom. Much to her surprise, he accepts. Why is it surprising? You're going to help him defeat his enemy. I'm not reviewing it yet. Together they will obtain the fleece and build an empire. Their pact sets in motion a journey that will see Medea fall in love, battle monsters, dethrone kings, and claim her power. But when faced with the ultimate betrayal, Medea is driven to an act of desperation so brutal it rips apart the lives of everyone involved. It sounds really, really interesting, and I can't wait to read this. I say that about every single one. Now, although it isn't a special edition, but these sort of like blurb, they look like windows, and it's still foiled. So I really like the layout of this, of how it looks. So it looks like a little window. my goal is to get through a lot of my TBR faster than I already am. It's always the goal, but I'll get there eventually. Okay, next up is a Waterstones one. I think this one's a pre-order. It is. So this is All the Devils by Caitlin Wilson. It has only just come out a few days ago. And this is the Waterstones Special Edition. Now, it does have sprayed edges, but they are just black. So I will double check whether that is supposed to be just black or whether something else was supposed to go on there. But I mean, it is a dark book, so the black, just the black sprayed edges do go with it. But yeah, I love the cover. The cover got me interested in this one. Because it's just lovely. Look at it. Just beautiful. And the inside pages are just these. Now, it being a special edition, although it doesn't have foiling on the hardcover, it is signed by the author, and I love the cover art. Whoever did this cover art, you're a genius, because I love it. Look at it. So the blurb for this one is, Andy Emerson knows she must come to terms with a life without her sister, Violet. But on the day of her funeral, Andy is shocked to discover one thing. The person in the casket is not her sister. Violet is alive. Convinced her sister's elite boarding school is covering up the truth, Andy enrolls at Ravenswood Academy to discover what really happened and find Violet. The school is as beautiful and haunting as the students within it, and Andy learns that it's not just good grades that drives these pupils. Something much darker is at play. After discovering a cryptic note from her sister, Andy must follow a set of clues to unlock the truth. This will bring her into contact with secret societies, ancient magic, demons and monsters, and a charming senior named Jay Han, who has his own reasons for finding out what happened to Violet Emerson. So yeah, it sounds just like my thing and perfect for this season. I'm really hoping to get a lot of reading done, because seeing everything all piled up together is just, it's a bit overwhelming, to be honest. So yeah, next up is another birthday present, this being House of Leaves. I'll try and get the cover so it doesn't reflect the window or the ring light. I'm not going to butcher that name for the author, but I like the cover. So it's very floppy, but it's a debut novel. I've never heard of it before, and it's strange how there's no blurb to it. Oh no, there is blurb. So the blurb for this goes, Johnny Truant, wild and troubled sometime employee in an LA tattoo parlour, finds a notebook kept by Zampano, a reclusive old man found dead in a cluttered apartment. Herein is the heavily annotated story of the Navidson record. Will Navidson, a photojournalist, and his family move into a new house. What happens next is recorded on videotapes and in interviews. Now the Navidsons are household names. Zampano, writing on loose sheets, stained napkins, crammed notebooks, has compiled what must be the definitive work on the events on Ash Tree Lane. But Johnny Truant has never heard of the Navidson record, nor has anyone else he knows. And the more he reads about Will Navidson's house, the more frightened he becomes. Paranoia besets him. The worst part is that he just can't dismiss the notebook as the ramblings of a crazy old man. He's starting to notice things changing around him. So it sounds really, really interesting. And it's written, I quite like that. So like on the front cover, don't know whether you can see it, it's got the author's name up here, but it's got the characters' names here as well. So I think that's a nice touch. And flicking through, I don't know whether you can, flicking through it, it looks just like, it's like a notebook. So it's like scribbles, the way that it's written, unhinged scribbles in it. So I think it's going to be really, I mean, let's face it, look, it's a right chunker. It's about 700 pages is this thing. And it's all in quite, oh, well, some of it doesn't have much on. See, it's written in really, I haven't seen anything written like this in this form before. So it's going to definitely be interesting to try and read through this. Because, I mean, I've read screenplays before, but this is going to be a little bit different. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be a Marmite. It's either going to be a great story but impossible to read, or it's going to be wonderful to read and not a great story, or it could just be a great story and a wonderful way to read it. But I've never heard of it. I had no marketing for it. It looks like it's an independent, like an indie novel. So yeah, I am looking forward to getting into this one. So next up we have a book that I treated myself to simply because I love the cover. And that is The Darkness... Oh, Jesus, I'll get rid of the ring light on it. Or the window. The Darkness Surrounds Us by Gail Lukaczyk. I think so. I'm sorry if I butchered that. But this is just... I love the front cover. I mean, it's just beautiful. Because it reminds me of my favourite teen books. Which that being... I was never a Twilight girl. I was always a Fallen one. So, I mean... The covers, it's just... I love them. And I will do a review of the Fallen series now that I'm supposedly an adult. But yeah, this, I love the cover, the blurb interested me. So this was another Amazon find. And the blurb goes, Nurse Nellie Lester can't escape death. Fleeing Chicago at the height of the 1918 Spanish flu, she takes a nursing job at a decrepit mansion on a desolate Michigan island. She's convinced the island holds the secret to her mother's murky past. The only problem? Her dead mother seems to have followed her there. Nightly, she's haunted by a ghostly presence that appears in her bedroom. But is it her mother, or something more sinister? When the frozen body of the prior nurse is unearthed, Nellie suspects her family's history and the nurse's uncanny death are connected to a mysterious group that disappeared from the island 24 years earlier. As winter closes in, past and present collide, resurrecting a lurid killer hell-bent on keeping the island's secrets. Will Nellie uncover her mother's shocking past before the killer enacts his final revenge? I hope to read this November, December time. I know it sounds so far away at the minute. I have a video coming out every day in October, so that's all fully done. So I hope, because it feels like a wintry one. If you disregard the, murder and serial killing and ghosts and... But look, snow. I think this one's an eBay one, so we're going to get my live reaction to what it's like. With my previous eBay order, not from this seller, I ordered it. They sent the wrong book and then wondered why I gave them negative feedback after asking for a refund. So yeah, it's well packaged. And thankfully, it is exactly what I ordered. As you may see behind me, I have a full Stephen King shelf of hardbacks. No paperbacks if I can help it. So my mission this year, which I started last year, was to replace all the paperbacks I have of Stephen King's books with hardbacks. And then in the middle of doing that, I discovered slipcases as well. So yeah, I don't think I've got any paperbacks. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Although does a paperback count if it has its own slipcase? Probably not. But yeah, the 3 paperbacks I have that I don't believe come in hardback version are Storm of the Century, 6 Stories, and Cycle of the Werewolf. So anyway, I'm off topic already. But yeah, so I wanted them all in hardback, and I started off wanting a first edition UK version and a first edition US version. And because that is taking a very long time, and I will buy things when I can, this is the Nightmares and Dreamscapes US version. It is a first edition, and published by Viking. Nightmares and Dreamscapes is, I think, my favourite... I'll get rid of the ring light. My favourite collection of short stories out of all of his collections of short stories. There's just so much in this, because the ones that are in this are... So in this we've got Dolan's Cadillac, The End of the Whole Mess, Suffer the Little Children, The Night Flyer, Popsy, It Grows on You, Chattery Teeth, Dedication, which is... I didn't get it when I first read it because I was a bit too young to know what it was. But if you cringed at that, I can't remember the movie name. The movie where, it's only came out either this year or the end of last year. The movie where the guy was visiting his friend's family, and after the guy masturbated in the tub, he licked the plug hole. Dedication came out first and has kind of an element of that. But then we've got The Moving Finger, Sneakers, You Know They Got a Hell of a Band, which is a favourite. Home Delivery, Rainy Season, My Pretty Pony, Sorry Right Number, The 10 O'Clock People, Crouch End, The House on Maple Street, The Fifth Quarter, The Doctor's Case, Umney's Last Case, Head Down, and Brooklyn August. So yeah, I'm so glad that it is actually what it says it is. Because, I mean, you go on eBay, you take your life in your hands. You just go through PayPal and hope you can get a refund if they send you something that you didn't want. But this is perfect. Perfect for my shelf. Yay! I mean, I don't know where it's... Oh, I'll find somewhere for it. It'll fit eventually. The big Amazon pack. Now, not all of this is books, which is why I'm holding it so lightly. But I'm just going to show you what's in here just because I've unboxed it. So I got a replacement knobhead stick, which is what my bestie calls it now. I took one on holiday and I tried... I'm not very good at doing arty-farty shots anyway. But this is a knobhead stick. Thought to help save money for next year for going away again, I would get one of these nice lovely little pots and just put extra cash in when I can, and then unfortunately you have to smash these. So I just thought it was really, really pretty and treated myself to one. But in the bottom of this box is a book. It's smaller than I thought it was. Story of my life. But this is A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher, and I found it while scrolling, I think on Goodreads, which is, don't scroll on Goodreads because it's dangerous. But yeah, I liked the cover, I liked the premise, and it's cute, it's little, thank God. Yeah, it's only about 400 pages, so it's not that much. But the blurb for this one is, Cordelia knows her mother is unusual. Their house doesn't have any doors between rooms. There are no secrets in this house. Cordelia isn't allowed to have a single friend. The only time she feels truly free is on her daily rides with her mother's beautiful white horse, Falada. Isn't that the name of the horse in The Goose Girl? That gets its head chopped off and talks to her? I'd have to check, but I think so. But more than a few quirks set her mother apart. Other parents can't force their daughters to be silent and motionless, obedient, for hours or days on end. Other mothers aren't. Sorcerers. After a suspicious death in their small town, Cordelia's mother insists they leave in the middle of the night, leaving behind all Cordelia has ever known. They arrive at the remote country manor of a wealthy older man, the Squire, and his unwed sister, Hester. Cordelia's mother intends to lure the Squire into marriage. Cordelia knows this can only be bad news for the bumbling gentleman and his kind, intelligent sister. Hester sees the way Cordelia shrinks away from her mother, how the young girl sits eerily still at dinner every night. She knows that to save her brother from bewitchment and to rescue the terrified Cordelia, she will have to face down a wicked witch of the worst kind. It sounds so exciting. I mean, I've said that about all of them. In fact, I've said that about most of everything up there. I'll get round to it eventually, hopefully, before I die. But there will come a point where I will buy more books that I can read in my lifetime, and as depressing a thought as that is. But Yeah, it sounds really, really interesting, so I will be hopefully getting to that by the end of the year. Now, lastly is a Page and Wick box. Now, if you've seen any of my Page and Wick unboxings, you'll know that the box is usually about this big, and that is because that is the subscription box with a candle, and this is a special edition which was in their shop, and which I was trying to resist, and I did resist for a very long time. But I didn't resist for all that long. All that well, obviously. As I've said previous in this video, I love a good Greek mythology retelling. And when this came up on their adverts, I think it was on their Instagram, I tried to resist. I tried so hard, but I couldn't. This is the story of Clytemnestra by Constanza Casati. Yeah, the same one that wrote Babylonia that's up there. That Page and Wick did the special edition of as well. And they did it in exactly the same kind of format. 1 minute. So yeah, look. They go together. One blue, one... I know. But yeah, I couldn't resist this. And it gives... the story of Clytemnestra is just rich. She was one of Greece's 3 queens. She was the wife of Agamemnon. He sacrificed their daughter while he toddled off to Troy to fight with his brother-in-law, Menelaus, whose wife, Helen, got kidnapped by Paris. And she ruled his kingdom in their stead. So yeah, Clytemnestra is a very, very, very interesting character in Greek mythology, if not the most interesting mortal character. But yeah, I couldn't resist this edition. I mean, look at the foiling on the... Look at the artwork on this. It is just... I love the Page and Wick books. And who doesn't love a good spread edge? Who doesn't love a good spread edge? It's amazing. So this is the naked hardback foiling. If we just have a look on there. And the side and the back. So yeah, it is beautiful. So inside is just like the sort of this wallpapery kind, and same on the back. It is a first edition, of course, it's a special, and it is signed by the author. And it does have the family trees in there, because they can get a bit convoluted when you go through mythology stories. You're not quite sure who's connected to who. So the blurb for this one is... You are born to a king but marry a tyrant. You stand helplessly as he sacrifices your child to placate the gods. You watch him wage war on a foreign shore and comfort yourself with violent thoughts of your own. You play the part, fooling enemies who deny you justice. Slowly you plot. You are Clytemnestra. But when the husband who owns you returns in triumph, what then? Acceptance or vengeance, infamy follows both. So you bide your time and wait until you might force the gods' hands and take revenge, until you rise. For you understand something that the others don't. If power isn't given to you, you have to take it for yourself. So this is not the first Clytemnestra retelling I have read. The first one I read was A Spartan Sorrow by Hannah Lynn, which was all right, but it didn't really delve. Hopefully this one will delve a bit more, although I haven't read the other one, so I don't know whether I even like her writing. But I couldn't resist it because it's so pretty. I'm a sucker for a pretty book. See, when I wonder where all my money goes, I really don't know. Of course I don't know. But yeah, that does it for this unboxing video. The butterfly one will have a video all of its own. And this has, wow, this has run on a lot longer than I actually thought it would. Shoe fly. But yeah, let me know what you think of these books. Did any grab your attention? Did you want to read any? Is there any that you don't like that are on this pile? Let me know your thoughts down below, and subscribe to me before I drop them all.